Tonight at 5, an Indianapolis Kroger is back open after a shooting in the parking lot on Sunday.
Our Ashton Hackman talked with neighbors who are frustrated with the violence, and he's learned this isn't the first shooting to happen outside that store.
Sunday's shooting marks the third time Metro Police have been called to the East 16th Street Kroger for a report of a shots fired. Luckily, no one was injured, but a woman I talked to said she doesn't understand how this much violence has been happening in her neighborhood.
It was back to business as usual Monday. Shoppers coming and going from the Kroger store on the near north side. The front window boarded up, shattered the day before. Metro Police say no one was injured. The shooting, random, believed to be a disturbance between multiple people. Officers arrested a 16-year-old, but on unrelated drug and gun charges.
It doesn't matter where you live.
Denise Mansfield was walking home with her groceries when we stopped her. She grew up in the neighborhood and recently moved back. The violence, she says, is a shock and a stark change from the past.
Things have changed quite a bit. Like I said, I went to school here when I was younger. I'm 65 now. It was much, much slower when I lived in here when I was younger. These things are happening more and more and more and more. Worse to worse to worse.
In August, a person was shot in the same parking lot. Police would find 11 shell casings and a victim critically injured at the time. But shoppers don't seem to be bothered. They say it's the closest grocery store to the neighborhood.
I'm still gonna come here regardless. Yeah, it's just my store.
It's the neighborhood, yeah.
This is my little store I go to. It's a cool little store, but sad that stuff be happening around here. This is a peaceful area over here, so I don't know why that happened.
Random.
Yeah, that was random.
A random shooting now seemingly common for this location.
That shattered window is now boarded up, and this Kroger is back up and running. Metro Police have not made an arrest. They're asking anyone with information to give them a call. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Also wanted to let you know a Kroger spokesperson said the company is working with IMPD to address Sunday's shooting, adding, quote, ensuring a safe and welcoming environment for associates and customers will always be a top priority and continue to guide our decisions, end quote.
Caught on camera, and you're looking at it here. This is a brawl on the west side at the Texas Roadhouse restaurant in Avon.
And it is getting a lot of attention online. So Avon police say they're still looking for some of the suspects who were in that video who got out of the area before they could catch them.
Our Logan Gay spoke with a mom who was there when that chaos started and shares how that scene impacted her family.
That video was taken here inside this Texas Roadhouse in Avon, and one customer who was there at the time says it was even crazier in person.
Instead of dinner together, Amanda Polly and her family were real close to that chaos. She said they were enjoying their appetizers when the brawl broke out between two different groups in her section at Texas Roadhouse, trapping them at their table. To protect her three kids, she put one underneath the table and protected the other two with her chest. Her husband stood in front of the table to protect the whole family. She says her kids left the restaurant traumatized.
And I think as a parent now, I'm just going to be more cautious about not getting us sat in a place to where we're trapped, because we were trapped. Like, thank God there were no weapons involved.
13 News reached out to Texas Roadhouse Corporate to ask if they plan to make any changes to their policies to better protect staff and customers. They sent back a statement that reads in part, "We do plan to have additional police presence and security as we continue to review this incident in Avon." In Avon, Logan Gay, 13 News.
The Texas man accused of stalking Caitlyn Clark will be back in court next month after he went there and made an appearance earlier today.
A camera in the courtroom captured the moment Michael Lewis appeared before a Marion County judge. You can see it here. Now, Lewis wanted to fire his lawyer, but the judge reminded Lewis he had a public defender, so he couldn't fire him. Lewis then withdrew his motion.
He also told the judge that he had something to say, but then after briefly having a conversation with his public defender, he opted not to speak. Lewis is charged with felony stalking, accused of sending threats and sexually explicit messages to the Fever star on Twitter, now known as X. Tonight, a woman is safe after crashing into a creek on the near northeast side of Indianapolis. This happened around 8 o'clock just this morning on English Avenue near South Sherman Drive. The woman telling 911 dispatchers that she hit deep water and then hydroplaned before going off the road and into the Pleasant Run Creek. The water there then carried her about 400 feet downstream. IFD found her sitting on top of her car and then got a life jacket out to her. They had her out of the water by 8:30.
The Indianapolis City County Council will meet for the very first time tonight since the release of a report into harassment allegations against Mayor Hogsett's administration. Tonight's meeting is at 7 o'clock. On the agenda, a final vote on allocating $27 million in extra income tax revenue, much of it for DPW's road and snow removal efforts. Off the agenda, councilors say they could address the harassment report and push for some more transparency. Our Alex Almanza will preview the meeting for us, share more tonight at 6 o'clock.
Keep in mind you can expect some delays tonight and into tomorrow if you've got plans that are going to take you around the 146th Street and Allisonville roads.
Yeah, our Lindsay Monroe shares what's happening there and how to get around it.
Well, heads up to drivers in Hamilton County. Starting tonight, drivers should expect delays at the intersection of 146th and Allisonville Road. Now, from 7 to 10, one lane of traffic for eastbound and westbound 146th Street right here will be closed for temporary pavement markings and adjustments to those barrier walls. Then overnight, the ramps between 146th Street and Allisonville will be closed. Now, one lane of traffic for eastbound and westbound 146th Street will be open utilizing the new bridge over Allisonville Road, and one lane of traffic for northbound and southbound Allisonville will be open underneath of that new bridge. Now, by 6 a.m. on June 10th, all lanes and ramps will reopen with traffic going through on 146th. Encouraged to use the left lanes. That's because that will take you up over Allisonville Road on that new bridge. And then the right lanes, you'll follow 146th, or you can exit off on Allisonville Road. Now, drivers are encouraged to avoid this intersection during this phase shift and seek an alternate route, perhaps utilizing 106th Street while that work is being done. The full intersection is scheduled to open this fall.
All right, it is 5:07. We want to get you updated on the forecast today. You know, the sunshine was kind of in and out anytime I went in or out.
Yeah, but the heat has definitely picked up.
It has. We've got 70s and 80s, more heat in the 7-day forecast. We'll near 90 later this week.
Wow.
But we are getting a break from the heavy rain, which is good news. We had a round of heavy rain move through overnight. At least the rain over the weekend was pretty well timed in terms of didn't impact a lot of outdoor activities. A lot of us slept right through it late last night and early this morning. I've got a couple of showers on live Doppler 13 radar. Severe thunderstorm watch for the northern part of the state. We'll watch a few of these showers from Kokomo to Marion to just south of Fort Wayne. Thicker clouds this evening may produce a sprinkle, but that severe threat is north and it's east of central Indiana, and we will start to clear. Temperatures right now in the 70s and 80s. Some sun, some clouds out there, and that's how we'll spend the evening. Eventually dropping into the 60s once the sun goes down, and then overnight temperatures in the 50s, highs tomorrow in the 70s.
Ooh, all right, thanks, Angela.
The Indiana Fever back on the practice court this morning, and two key members of the program were also back with the team today.
Samantha Johnson reports with the very latest from the field house tonight. Hey, Sam.
The Indiana Fever are coming off an impressive weekend win. They beat the Chicago Sky by 27 points at the United Center, and they did it without Caitlyn Clark and without head coach Stephanie White, who was out for personal reasons. At practice on Monday, we saw both White and Clark.
She's been allowed to do some practicing, not everything, and we're gonna be smart, and we're gonna be cautious, and we're gonna play the long game and work her back in very intentionally.
So CC still out with that left quad strain. She will not play Tuesday in Atlanta. Coach White, though, back in Indianapolis with the team. Assistant coach Austin Kelly stepped in as acting head coach while she was gone, and Aaliyah Boston says he was ready.
Yeah, I think AK did a great job as active head coach, and I think Steph coming back once again Grateful that she's back with us, and I think for us it's just keeping the main thing, and that's coming in and make sure that we're ready for Atlanta.
So let's get you up to speed. The Fever are 4-4 on the season. They hit the road in Atlanta tomorrow night before they're back at Gainbridge Fieldhouse to take on the reigning WNBA champs, the New York Liberty, on Saturday. At the Fieldhouse, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Thanks, Sam. And we'll let you know you can watch that Fever game tomorrow. We're going to air it for you on our sister station.
That's right. The game starts at 7:30. It's on WALV, which is Me TV. And there are several ways you can find the channel.
Just scan the QR code right there on the screen and it'll take you to our website, WTHR.com/fever. And that's where you'll find an article with all the ways that you can watch the game, whether it's over the air with an antenna or on channel 13.3 or even on cable. We want you to be able to cheer on the Fever.
And we want to cheer on the Pacers this week. We are ready for a rebound,
yes,
aren't we?
big time.
We need it. So the Pacers are now back home again in Indiana. They're getting ready for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Again, looking to rebound after last night's tough loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, it was disappointing. And today the team announced that Wednesday's night's game again will be a gold out. So check it out. This is the shirt that they're going to have on all the seats if you were one of the ones who was able to get tickets to the game that's at the Fieldhouse.
That's a cool shirt. We're also seeing some signs of support for the team all across Indy. Check this out. Wait for the reveal. There it is. The Yes Sirs banner now on the side of the JW Marriott. Looking good. We also found another show of support on the Indianapolis Arts Garden. The sign says Yes Sirs as well, with pictures of Aaron Neesmith and Andrew Nemhard. Plus, we have all your NBA Finals coverage on WTHR+. That's where you can watch Dom and Eli's complete breakdown of Game 2.
If you want to watch that, it's streaming right now on demand. Just download our TV app and you can watch it. It is free. That t-shirt said, but this is Indiana.
I see what they did there.
Okay, let's talk a little Colts. Tonight we are learning the official roles that Jim Irsay's daughters will now take with the Colts after his death.
Yeah, the team announcing that all three will become the team's owners. Carly Irsay Gordon, who you see on the left in this picture, she will be the CEO, and she'll also serve as the team's principal owner. Her other two sisters will also have some big roles in the organization.
Casey Foyt, pictured right there in the middle, will be the executive vice president. Kaylin Jackson, there on the right, will be the chief brand officer and the president of the Indianapolis Colts Foundation.